Over a period of 5 years, Malcolm and Jude have carried out a series of eco-renovations to their chalet bungalow in Bridport. They live comfortably using less than half as much energy compared to similar properties.
As you drive up to it, it's a fairly ordinary, I would call it a chalet bungalow. And indeed one of the neighbours, as we arrived, said, "Welcome to God's waiting room." I began to wonder what on earth we'd done. But as soon as we walked through the place and saw the aspect out of the back, and we realised the huge amount of solar gain coming onto the back face of the property. The place was built in the mid-70s when we had the 3-day working week, the miners' strikes. People were beginning to get interested in energy and energy efficiency. But it was built to the building regs at the time, and building regs always lag somewhat behind what, to my mind, should be undertaken. Yeah. And consequently, this place was built, as it's got a very, very steep pitch roof. There are huge, great cavities on either side, which are just not only wasted space physically, but there's no thermal insulation in there at all. The roofs of the sitting room, the lounge that we're in, and the flat roof over the garage were virtually open to the sky. And that I saw as a serious problem. And that was one of the first things that I really, really wanted to tackle. Get the structure right. So this is a back porch that I've constructed using western red cedar for the timber, which is a wood that has a natural weather keeping property, and recycled doors and windows, which is why it's perhaps a slightly unusual shape, but it's a lovely volume. And the principle of having a back porch, having 2 doorways from inside to outside, you gain tremendously by not losing a lot of your thermal energy, and going to and fro the wood store now is an indoor job. With the PV, with the photovoltaic panels, the first thing we did was we tried to drive down our electricity bills, and by looking at our annual consumption, we were consuming about 1,200 kilowatt hours a year. So simply by putting up 8 small BP panels at the top of the roof there, we were able to generate 1,200 kilowatt hours a year. With rainwater harvesting, I've realised that the cleaner you keep the water, the less smelly it is. And this particular diverter, a much better quality than the plastic garden centre kind of thing, manufactured in Germany, stainless steel, but there's an extremely fine filter mesh in here, which means that the bulk of the debris washes on down the waste pipe, and it's only very, very clear water that can come through. Over here we have 2 old orange juice barrels, second-hand stuff, sort of thing you see on a farmer's field, and these store our rainwater, which is filtered almost to the nth degree, and we use this rainwater to flush 2 toilets and to feed the washing machine. Partly because of the nature of the building, it's a very steep pitch, and we've got this stairway literally just right outside the door behind me. The wood burner not only heats the space we're in to a very comfortable temperature, but the heat, we allow it to percolate upstairs. Brilliant. But the other thing that we do, I would call it simple housekeeping. As the sun begins to drop at this time of year, one of us will pop upstairs, close the windows, close the curtains. Yeah. So that the heat that has come into the property during the day is effectively heat locked. Yeah. How much does that cost?